Hi, good afternoon, students. My name is Professor Davis, and I am your instructor for Human Development 401, applying theory and methods to human development. And I'm excited that we are here. This is our week 1 in class. I delayed the class by 1 week due to the textbook not being available. My understanding is the hard copy is still not available, but you should be able to purchase the digital version. If you're preferring the hard copy, you can wait for it to come in. We are going to start working out of the text next week, but I'm also going to be providing some supplemental material starting next week that you could use as your discussion if you're still waiting on your book. So there's ways around it, but I do want you to get the textbook because you'll be using that throughout the quarter as you prepare to do your final project, which I will be posting instructions on that as well. You may have noticed I haven't finished posting everything for the class, but it will be done soon. I just want you to focus this week on reading the website about the community engagement and learning through Cal State East Bay, just so you can get an overview of what is this service learning adventure about. I also want you to begin to look for a placement. Many of you started when I told you about it 2 weeks ago. I'm still going through emails and answering those of you who are still not sure if the placement that you're looking at is appropriate. So I'll continue to answer those questions this week. If you have found a placement that you believe is appropriate, you can go ahead and fill out the site placement request form, approval form. I have posted that under Module 1. And that is the form that you fill out. Everybody's got to fill one out prior to starting their service because I have to approve it. Okay? So if there's questions about, is this an appropriate site, email me first. If you feel like it will go, then go ahead and fill the form out, submit it, and I will give you an answer within 3 business days. So I'll be checking that daily just to see if anybody submitted their form. Some places that are appropriate it's many different places, like the food bank in your area, homeless shelter, hospital, schools. Many of you want to be educators on some level, so you might want to volunteer at a school, with the students or with the administration, participating and helping develop programs or tutoring, helping the teacher in the classroom. So that's some options, helping the elderly, helping teens, any place where you are providing a service to other humans, right? Human development, and something that you can do to help enhance their lives as a volunteer. That's the type of service that we're looking for, okay? So I'm not saying go volunteer to be a cashier at a grocery store. I'm saying something that you are providing a service where you're engaging with the community, maybe an after-school program or, somewhere where, you're helping out with a festival, that maybe you help plan from beginning to end and is for the community. You can get really creative with this. There are some online opportunities, not many that I've seen. They're kind of more challenging to do because you're not doing a lot of engagement. So I'd ask you to try to find something in person first. But if there's something that makes sense that you can do online, maybe you can do some online tutoring possibly, that could work, or, participate in some type of group that's providing a service online. There are online opportunities. So the other part of this is Cal State East Bay, they approve placements. And in the past, I have required students to only use placements that have been approved by Cal State. That is the Cal State S4 website that I provided you. However, it's been challenging for some students to find a placement on that approved site. What that means is Cal State has vetted the actual location, like they vetted the, the Contra Costa Food Bank. Okay. And they have approved them for students to, go and do service there, and they are accepting students. So it's nice if you can find a placement there online at the S4 website. And then they have the contact information. You just contact that site and ask them if they're accepting students this semester, and they already know what you're talking about. Okay, because they have done an agreement with the university that they are going to take students. So that's why it's very helpful to find a placement through the S4. If you cannot, for whatever reason, you are given permission to find your own placement that's not been approved. But I will need to really investigate to see if this is an appropriate place. And that's why I have the agreement, the request form this semester. Even those of you who are using an S4 site, I want you to still do that form so I can approve it. Because sometimes some of those sites that are on there, I might know that they're not available anymore, or they weren't a good site, and I might say, no, don't do that. So I need everybody to fill out a request form, whether you're using the S4 site to find your placement or your own, you're looking for your own in the community. Okay. I will be uploading the site supervisor approval form. That will be the step 2. After you get approved, you ask your site supervisor to fill that form out. That means that they know that they are required to supervise your placement, and they agree to give you a minimum of 20 hours this semester of work over a period of 4 to 10 weeks, and that you will be finished with your 20 hours by the end of the semester. Okay, so I am asking the site supervisors to sign that they agree to supervise you. Okay, so next week I'm going to do another video to give more information about what else you need to do. Okay, because there's a lot of steps. But once you get placed, your job is to do your placement, your however many hours a week you decide to do it over 4 weeks. If you do it 5 hours a week, you can be done in 4 weeks. But some of you can't do that. Some of you can only do an hour and a half a week or 2 hours a week. So you can stretch your 20 hours over 10 weeks. So that can be very helpful for those of you who have a very tight schedule because of, childcare, full-time job, school, all these different things you have to do. So try to make it work. And you also have until, week 6. I'm suggesting that you start your placement in week 6, so you'll have plenty of time to finish. So you have 4 or 5 weeks to find a placement. But I would do the sooner the better. So as soon as you find something that you want to do and they've agreed, you just submit that approval form for me to say, yes, it's okay for you to go there. Okay, so that's all I have for this week's edition of Human Development 401, just to give you this information. I know this was a long video. I hope you were okay listening. And if you have any questions, you can always ask me under Ask the Instructor, or you may send me an inbox or email. And you may call. I may not answer, but I'll call you back within 24 to 48 hours. All right, I hope you guys have a great rest of your week.